I've spent my entire career behind a drum kit, recording and touring with artists like Robert Ellis Orrall, Peter Wolf of the Geils Band, Brad Delp and Barry Goudreau of the band Boston, and Sully Erna of Godsmack. And now I want to take you into the world of actors, comedians, artists, and so many others who've built extraordinary creative careers on their own terms. This is Window, a different kind of podcast. Hello, this is David from Window, a different kind of podcast. On this episode of Window, I head back into the world of actors. Indeed, a unique breed of humans. Interesting, although many can be unpredictable. You have seen him as Tony Profaci on the television show Law and Order, and also as Gigi Cestone on HBO's mega hit The Sopranos. He is actor John Fiore. I met him by chance at a restaurant in New Hampshire. Here's how that went. It's around here somewhere. Oh. Let's see here. Hello? Oh, sorry.
What are you doing?
I was just going to use the bathroom.
Why don't you look over there before I bust your head open?
Wait a minute, was that? And then, after a series of unsuccessful back and forths on social media, he agreed to meet me and talk about possibly being on the show. Here's how that went. It was a pretty good day. I don't know why I was so nervous. John Fiore, he seems like an okay guy. I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. God, if he gave me some crap, I would have said, hey, the episode, forget about it. Hey, John, I'm just doing this stuff. What are you doing? John!
Don't make me drop you again.
Jesus, John, what the hell was that about?
Some money.
I want you to know a little bit more about John Fiore. I put together this short documentary. Check this out. John Fiore was born in 1955 and grew up in the 1976 all-American city of Somerville, Massachusetts. The city's name reflects a feeling of peace and joy, which for the most part it was. John's home in the Ten Hills area of the city was just a couple of miles from the Winter Hill section of Somerville, which was home to the notorious Winter Hill Gang, headed up by the notable mobster Howie Winters. John's family life was a happy one, an Italian household consisting of his mom and dad, Charles and Terry, brothers Charles and Robert, and sister Therese. He would be a good student for most of his early school years, until attending St. Mary's in Cambridge, where he and the nuns did not see eye to eye. He would end up attending Somerville High School, where he claims he was shaping his juvenile delinquency way of life, as he will proudly claim that he skimmed by graduating with all D's. John would attend the local Bunker Hill Community College and earn his associate's degree. After drifting for a few years, John would go back to school and attend Northeastern University in Boston, but would abruptly quit after one semester, and then onward to yet another school, Suffolk University, also in Boston, Massachusetts. During his stay at Suffolk, John's father decided he would intervene in things. And with some connections he knew of, and a bit of finagling, he would get his son a government job, a part-time job as a court officer in the Mass Middlesex County court system. Back at Suffolk University in Boston, in order to graduate, John would need a certain amount of requirements. He would randomly select a course in acting. It didn't take long after John's acting course to take hold and point him into the career of acting. John's list of productions he's appeared in is extensive, but here's a few. couple of notable characters John has mastered are Detective Tony Profaci in the show Law and Order, and of course, Gigi Cestone in HBO's mega hit The Sopranos. John has also appeared in independent films alongside fellow actors Chaz Palminteri, Vincent Pastore, and Robert Davi. Please like and subscribe to the Window YouTube channel. And become an official VIP supporter of Window on Patreon. This will give you access to ad-free episodes and exclusive content that only VIP supporters see. Like I do with all my featured guests here on Window, I gave John a video camera and asked him to film himself during his day-to-day. Here's the footage he shot.
Yeah, this is my sanctuary. A nice stogie in the hot tub. Playing music out of the Bose speaker. Oh, you know what's playing now? You know who my favorite is. You see that hat? You can hear that. American Trilogy The King. I claim this should be the Super Bowl halftime song forever. On the Jumbotron, remastered. Can you believe it? No, that's American music right there. Well, tonight's the night for the premiere of... That's right. Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. Epic. Everybody knows I'm a huge Elvis fan. I've been looking forward to this. It's going to be fantastic. I know Baz became obsessed with Elvis. They've unearthed previously unseen footage, remastered, and I can't wait to see it. You should see it too. I know it's going to be great. So this is my condo in Maine, in York, Maine, where I come to. Winters, summer, you name it. My sanctuary, my getaway. There's the water right across the way there. Many of you may have seen me smoking cigars, walking that beach, which I've done many, many times. But I come up here year-round. I come up here with actors, writers, and we hang and we bang out ideas and do little things. So this is where I go. This is in York, Maine, Long Sands Beach. So this is it, the life of an actor. In between gigs, sitting here, reading scripts, doing Zooms, waiting for the next gig. And that's what it's all about. But at this stage of the game, I don't sweat it. Whatever comes my way, comes my way. I'm appreciative. And if there's gaps, so be it. There's plenty more in life to enjoy. What the f are you doing? You follow me around all morning. What do you want from me? You.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Window. This is a special one for me. They're all special, but this one's really special. So a couple of months ago, I connected with actor John Fiore, and I asked him to be on the show, and he was nice enough to say yes. So we hung out a little bit, had a couple of lunches, and talked about the good old days, because here's another thing. I knew he was from Boston, but he's actually from the town that I grew up in, Somerville. So I just want to say we're here. Folks, he's with me right now. We are joined by an incredible actor and an equally incredible human, John Fiore. Hey, John.
Hey, David. Thanks for having me on the show today, my friend.
It's fantastic. I was saying to myself, we're both from the same town, so we can call each other paisans, right? Our
We are
last
Pikes.
names,
We're both Italian. We're from the same town. That means something.
it means something. I'm going to start right from the beginning. John, you grew up in Somerville. You had two parents, two brothers, and a sister. What was it like in that Italian household in
Well,
the
it was,
in the 70s, right?
yeah. I born in the 50s, so it was great. My grandparents lived upstairs like people did back in the day. It was a two-family house, but it felt like a one-family house because we had free reign up and down, slept upstairs, slept downstairs. Everybody was commingled. It was fantastic. My mother would cook, my grandmother would cook, my father would even cook a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And my father loved bread, of course, right? As all as Italians love bread. So we'd get the car washed on a Sunday, head into the North End, get the bread. He'd put it on the back seat. It had its own seat, and you couldn't go near the bread. You couldn't pick at it, touch it. Don't even look at it. The bread must stay intact until you get back to the house. Otherwise, you may get a backhander.
Now, you went to Somerville schools. What type of student were you?
I was a good student in the lower grades, 1 through 6. Then I started to get a little wild in life. By the seventh grade onward, I started deteriorating as a student. And by the time I got to Somerville High School, I was a really bad student because I just didn't really care. I'm not like, it's just how it was. I mean, not that I set out to be that way. I just was sort of rebellious and I wasn't into it.
It's
I
a
wasn't
pretty
into being in school.
pretty common story.
Yeah.
I had this kind of the same situation.
I
I was an all
graduated with straight D's across the board. I got out of Somerville High School legitimately by the skin of my teeth.
After Somerville High. What happened? What did you
But
end up?
then I went to Bunker Hill College the very first year it ever opened up. So they were still feeling stuff out and figuring out how they were going to run it. That was like a zoo also. That was nuttier than Somerville High School. There's a bunch of guys from Charlestown, a bunch of guys from Somerville, all over. People that couldn't get into a bigger college or weren't ready to go to work or just wanted to extend their high school and just, I'm in college, whatever. That was pretty wild too. But I took what they called law enforcement curriculum and I realized I had sort of an interest in it. So I started to get a little interested in that. There wasn't any math, there wasn't biology. It was about criminal justice and all that kind of stuff like that. So that piqued my interest. So I got through the 2 years there with an associate degree, and then I went on to Northeastern University, but only for one term, and then I quit abruptly. Got all A's in there, took a break and went back and finished up my degree at Suffolk University in
Wow.
Boston. Yeah.
Wow. So you end up doing all of this. Um, Acting. How did that come into play?
Well, that's a funny story because I didn't really set out to be an actor. When I had quit college, I was say 22, right, whatever, right? And I was floundering a little bit, this and that, whatever. So I decided to go back to Suffolk University, complete the degree. I went to graduate. I wanted to graduate. but you have requirements in college. You got to fulfill your requirements. So I go to the registrar, the guy who kind of keeps track of what courses you take and what you need to get out. He said, "You need to take something from this column." I go, "I don't want to take anything from that column." It was public speaking, voice and articulation, acting, and some other stuff. I'm like, "Do I really have to pick something from here? I don't want to." He goes, "You do." I go, "I'll take the acting." I took and I took the acting and I went, "Oh, this is what I was meant to do. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be an actor." And that's how it started, just like that. If that guy said to me, "You can graduate the way you are," I probably would, I don't know, I probably never would have taken it because it wasn't on my mind. It wasn't on my radar that I wanted to be an actor. I took the course, got in front of people, started doing stuff, and I felt like this is what I should be doing. So I went hard into it at that point. Yeah.
You must have you got an agent probably after doing that. What? How did that come
I
about?
did. I did what you can do in Boston at the time. There was a lot of corporate videos.
Hmm.
Boston wasn't a hotbed of acting like it became with movies coming to town. There was really nothing. There was theater, there was a few commercials, lots of corporate videos, which were great because they paid very well and they fell under the union. So you felt like you were acting in front of a camera, which we were. And did a lot of those. There was like Spencer TV show came way back when for a couple of years. Everybody locally probably got a turn or two on that. I got a couple of nice runs on that two times. One was a big one, fairly big one. And then from there, I went, okay, I want to go to the big leagues, got to go to New York. So I started making inroads in New York by sending pictures in the mail. Then I said, no, I'm going to go down there and slip the pictures under the door
Under the
because I
door of
didn't
like
want
of a manager or an agent?
a casting office or whatever, right? People that do casting. Because my theory was they get deluged with 8 by 10 pictures of people inside an envelope. And they got to rip the envelope open, look at it. So I was afraid of that step. I go, that's one step too many. Plus, if they saw a Boston postmark, they'd go, this guy's out of town, whatever. So I said, let me slip it under the door. So hopefully, when they walk in, the first thing when they look down, maybe my picture will be the number one picture,
Not in an envelope.
not in an envelope.
You
I
know,
went down to
John,
literally, yeah,
very similar to the music situation back then when you had a demo tape and you'd send it to either managers or record companies. You know, they had stacks of these things, you know, and
yeah,
the odds of you actually
right.
being listened, it's a very similar situation. Continue. That's amazing. You
It
just
was,
slip.
it was really, I mean, looking back on it, it was a true rarity, almost like a miracle. You know what I mean? Because I did slip them on the other doors too. But one of them, they called me. It was for all my children. They called it an under five back then. If you had under five lines, they go, you're an under five. But to us, like it was a speaking role, 4 or 5 lines, whatever it was, we were thrilled. So I got on there from sliding the picture under the door, did it, saw it. It turned out great, which gave me the confidence to call the person at All My Children, the casting director. And I said, I remember her name, Jean. I go, Jean, how are you? She goes, oh, hi, how are you? I go, saw the episode. I was happy with it. Yeah, it was great. I go, listen, you tell me if I'm stepping out of bounds here. I'm trying to get an agent. It's hard. She goes, hold on a minute. Puts me on hold. Get back on the phone. She says, Monday morning, you're going to the Henderson Hogan agency at 10:30 to see Karen Kirsch. I go, great, thank you so much. So I go there with my Boston centric demo tape. In other words, when they saw the tape, they weren't going to see me guest starring on Miami Vice or this or that or whatever. They were going to see me in corporate videos and whatever. So, but still, there was acting involved, your personality, whatever. And I said to the woman, the agent, I go, look, when you look at this tape, bear in mind where I'm coming from. This is what I did there. I'm hoping you can see the potential in me to do stuff here, bigger things, TV stuff, whatever. Absolutely. She signed me,
Wow.
signed to a contract.
Everything fell right
It
into
just fell into
place for
place.
you.
But
Amazing.
yeah,
I mean, you're a handsome guy. You were confident, and you had a demo. You had a little reel. What was that on? Was that on like what type of format was it on?
VHS tape, big clunky old tape, right? And within a month, she sent me up for Law and Order, and I got on there.
Wow.
And I stayed on there.
Yeah.
9 years as a recurring character.
Coming up on part 2 of Window featuring actor John Fiore. John tells us what attracted him to acting in the first place. Also, he speaks more about his 9-year run on the hit TV show Law and Order. All this and more on part 2 of Window featuring actor John Fiore. Follow Window on our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and LinkedIn.